I've heard the buzz before that we could be breathing the same molecules breathed in Julius Caesar's last gasp. Just a couple of days ago, I had a wisdom tooth pulled. And so I decided to write something about shared error and losing a tooth. This is called Questions and Tension. My stomach's kind of sort of in knots. I mean, I feel this tension. I know most people lose them as teens, but I always kept my wisdom teeth. Apparently my mouth was big enough. Now, after all this time, one tooth's finally cracked, so they schedule me in for an extraction. An extraction. Even the name sounds messy for removing a bone from my body. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous, asking questions like mad to the staff. Looking at x-rays, it roots and nerves are straight, so they say, don't worry, then bring a big needle and tell me to open wide. So after they inject me over and over, I wait twice as long as they say. The doctor comes in close, tells me not to move. And I don't know if it's the drugs they shot me with, or if that's that medic inches from my face, breathing my air, exhaling into me, if that's what's making me feel even more dizzy. So he says, don't move. And he starts to tug, pull, even twist. But not 30 seconds pass, and they say it's over. And they just give me gauze to stop the bleeding, and it's over that quickly. They didn't even give me any pain medication. And all I could think was that taking a bone from my body was far too easy. I mean, if you drugged someone enough, could you remove all of their teeth like that? 32 bones, just a little tugging, and then to stop the blood, just use extra gauze. But while you recover, you can't use straws because the sucking will actually split the sores. I don't know. Maybe it was the drugs. Maybe it was that dentist sharing my air and exhaling their waste down my throat. It made me wonder if it's that easy to just pull out so many little bones all at once. The things that go through your head when you're getting a tooth pulled, right? This is called shared error. I've heard the buzz before that we could be breathing the same molecules breathed in Julius Caesar's last gasp. Because he was breathing oxygen, and molecules are constantly rearranged and recycled. It could happen. But wait a minute. Why stop at just Julius? Why not Cleopatra or Caligula? Why not Attila the Hun or Adolf? Well, why stop there? We've shared the air with the dinosaurs, from T-Rex to pterodactyls, and someone out there is even hoping that a single molecule they've breathed was once in Jesus' lungs. Really, some people think this way. And these same people also don't want to admit that we share their air with the homeless people that we avoid on the streets. So fine, we'll figure this out and master the math, because math can prove what's right or wrong and it makes the world crystal clear. So some scientists started coming up with numbers. Oxygen molecules in the atmosphere, 67 plus 48 zeros. Wow, that's a lot. So make some quick calculations. Over an 80-year lifespan, and Adolf Hitler or even Caligula didn't live close to that long, but over an 80-year lifespan, us humans only breathe 0.000 and 6 more zeros, 0.01% of all the oxygen atoms on Earth. Because you see, with numbers that small, you can start to like math more. Because with how many oxygen atoms are out there, and how few oxygen atoms on Earth we actually breathe, statistically speaking, well, this becomes the most pathetic way to try to connect yourself with anyone interesting in existence. I've met a few famous people before, and they each tried to say something funny, and trust me, it really fell short, so I made a point to get away. Because it's true, just because they're known doesn't mean you should know them. I want to find 6 degrees of separation between me and Kevin Bacon, and I don't want to know if I've breathed Aristotle's air. Because, believe me, it might not be the smartest idea to spend your time fantasizing that you're linked by shared air to someone. Just be busy being someone yourself and see others wasting their time trying to link to you. This is my palate cleanser, short one. Us actually touching. I heard a physicist explain that when 2 solid objects are pressed together, they never actually touch. I can't imagine it, but maybe because electrons repel, all objects remain one molecule apart. I wonder if this is why, when I see you and when we embrace, I want to hold you tighter and tighter. Because I want to defy the laws of physics and feel that contact with you as long as I possibly can. Is this why, when we embrace, I want my face at your neck, so I inhale you deeply, I breathe you in? Well, this is because I want to experience you with all of my senses. I want our molecules to intermingle. I want us to actually touch.
Okay, we're gonna have to start putting Janet last. So that nobody has to follow that, all right? I'm sorry.